everybody. This is Skyriver Cantina back for round 2. This is Dan the Man and my buddy over here, Zane Royals. We're going to talk about hopefully 4 different things today, but we'll see. What you got over there?
So, we got on the first agenda, the origins of the Star Wars creatures on episode 2, when they were fighting in the arena on Gianosis. I know one of the creatures was on, how do you pronounce that? Felucia?
I'm going to go with your pronunciation.
I know it's just a tongue twister for me, but, that praying mantis thing, that's from there. But they do have that, cat with the 4 eyes that made, that cut Padme's shirt. I think that's called, Lexi or a Lux.
Might be a Lux. I'm typing in the names of the creatures.
And there's that, ox-looking thing that's fighting Anakin, I do believe. Yeah. He's fighting Anakin because the praying mantis is fighting Obi-Wan. That's how he got his chains undone. Yeah, but we're going to be discussing that to see what kind of planets they grew up on, what they eat, probably. I'm kind of curious what they eat, how strong they are, how intelligent they are. You got anything?
For what they are?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a look. It is not the Lux, it's the Nexu?
Nexu?
Nizu? Might be Nizu.
Let me see it.
The X might make a Z sound. The Nexu?
Yeah, Nexu.
That's the
Nexu.
cat one with, like, I don't know, can't tell there on that picture, but, like, what, 6 legs?
Does that have 6 legs? I thought it had 4.
Maybe it's 4 legs and that whip tail. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, guys. Forgive me.
I grew up on them.
I wasn't able to get a hold of copies of the Star Wars movies before Disney got a hold of things. So I know that they tampered with some of the stuff, and, well, it's kind of made me...
If you guys haven't known yet, he grew up with the 4, 5, and 6. I grew up with the 1, 2, and 3.
And 1, 2, and 3 came out while I was, you know, a little kid and a teenager. So I was very big on those. And then several years later, things got messed up. But moving on from there.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about 7, 8, 9.
Okay, what were the creatures in the Gianosis arena? Aclays.
Aclays was the ox bowl thing.
Whoa, there's 4 things. It says 4 things. I only remember 3 creatures.
Well, they have like Geonosins too.
Well, yeah, but no, it's Aclays, the Nexu, or Nexus maybe, Reeks, and the Mongwursts. The arena itself was a natural formation carved out by millennia of weathering with additions made by the Geonosians. Okay, so why don't we take a look at what these things are?
Just imagine that was a whole big rock at one point in time, and then all that sand just corroded that away. They probably dug it out some, made a whole arena out of a rock that just got corroded.
Eroded.
Yeah, eroded.
Yeah, they didn't use acid.
Well,
although maybe somebody was when they came up with these creatures.
I don't know. They could have some aesthetic in the air on Geonosis, because it is a little orange.
Okay, so the Aclay, that is your praying mantis creature.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that you like a lot.
I don't
What are
like
Aclays in the Star Wars universe?
That's on Felucia. Whatever. That planet.
boys were amphibious reptilian crustaceans with 6 deadly claws and razor-sharp teeth native to the planet Vendexa.
Oh, I was totally wrong.
Dude, you are just out of this
I'm not. No, they were on, well, they could be on different planets, too, because they do travel.
They were used as execution beasts by the Gianosians, and one attempted to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Padme Amidala in the... Oh, man. Rankia Arena? I probably did not get that right.
Rankia Arena?
Pet Rankia. Petrankia? Petrankia, maybe?
Yeah, but they do talk like that.
Petranica? Or no, Petraniki?
So you might have to, put that...
Dude, don't cuss at me like that. It's not my fault that...
Do they have, the, abbreviations?
It's not
on some letters?
What? No, it's just a weird spelling.
Oh.
Prior to the outbreak of the Clone Wars is when that happened. I finished off everything after we just,
I was playing
for about 30 seconds in the middle of it, so...
I was playing, Battlefront 2 of Star Wars on the PS2. Some people might know that. It's from 2005, 2007. I think it's 2005. I'm not sure. But they were fucking scary in that game. Because they would just come out and start hitting you. And you can't do nothing because they're so big. You're only a little guy with a gun. It barely does anything. So you gotta run from them, shoot at them some, and then run some more. They're scary.
Alright, so, now, the crazy cat creature, the Nexu, the Nexu, that's what I'm going with. If that's not what it is, guys, let me know. Maybe send an audio file if you can of how to properly pronounce it.
One of them Google Translate things on the bottom.
But a fierce and agile predator, the Nexu, was one of a trio of deadly beasts unleashed by the Geonosians upon Anakin Skywalker. And we've been through that part already. The Nexu's broad face was split by a terrifying tooth-filled maw, and 4 eyes glinted from atop its spade-shaped head. So that's what it gives us.
Yeah, have you seen its mouth when it's open?
It's huge.
That shit terrifying.
What is it? It's open like almost 180 degrees or something like that?
It can open up very wide, and it's like shark teeth. Because I think he has 2 layers of teeth.
It's kind of more like dragon teeth.
Oh yeah, it's been a fucking minute since I've seen that movie.
It's nasty though. That's...
Just imagine again, fighting that.
Yeah, I think that's like some kind of...
You can't fight that thing. I don't think you can fight that thing.
Oh, you want to go with the sword thing again?
No, it's just you. No sword, no nothing.
Yeah, just you, no sword, no nothing?
That thing's gonna be like a tiger.
That's what I was thinking. This thing here is like a...
Equivalent to like a tiger.
A saber-toothed tiger and an ancient crocodile and stegosaurus all kind of sort of mated at some point, and this thing came out.
Yeah, it looks like a little cat dog thing.
Because, the tail thing going on there, that's kind of nasty. That's a lot of freaking teeth, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Just you with no weapons, you're freaking 8, dude. Like,
that thing's crawling around your body and just eating you.
Yeah,
probably shredding you to bits too.
Look, that thing's mouth's so big, it's just gonna open it and close it, and most of my body's in its mouth.
Because in episode 2, he barely touched Padme's shirt, and that just ripped off.
Razor sharp claws. They probably sit back there and knock that thing out and
you think
take
they just
files. And
you think they just sit there and file them? They got like slaves that just sit there and file them?
Probably. Just keep them things sharp, man. That or it's got a big cat block back there for it to claw on.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Okay, so that's 2. Now, what was the other 2 again? Reeks?
I think that's a different thing. Because I only know 3 animals.
That is the 3rd animal. That's the rhino
Yeah.
thing.
I was going after Anakin.
Rhino esquic. Or esqui. Rhino esqui. Quadruped native to Eurasia.
Is that not Spanish?
Eurasia?
Are you getting this off of WikiLeaks? Oh, yeah, you were.
I'm getting this off of Google, bud.
Oh, yeah, but it says...
Yeah, that's if I click there, because then that looks all weird for me. It's a subspecies. Could be found on Iridonia. That's a subspecies that could be. And Kashyyyk. And Ithor.
Thor?
Ithor? That's how I'm going with it. Ithor. That's what I'm going with.
Ithor? Yeah. Ether.
So, yeah, I want to see you fight that. You were talking about me fighting a freaking Wonka with a sword.
I'm not fighting that thing.
You got to fight that thing. All right, because the other two, that ain't going to be
Maybe
easy.
if I have a red cape, maybe.
A red cape?
Yeah, you know.
You got to have a red cape and some spikes and a sword if you're going to go with that, okay? Are you going to wear the hat?
Oh, no, they just like the color red. They get really angry with red, with oxes or bulls. I'm assuming, so it could be similar.
I mean, he does kind of sort of got a red head, and the males probably do, like charge each other and try to gore each other, so they might actually be able to see red. So if you did wave a red cape, it probably would charge at you.
Yeah, you just gotta fucking dodge it real fast.
Does anybody know if that would actually happen? I mean, I'm sure there's probably somebody out there that may have really liked this creature and thought it was awesome and did a lot of research on it. If anybody out there actually knows, let us know.
Yeah, do more research on this.
Do they got like a running of the bulls for Reek somewhere? I mean, I could definitely see some. I mean, there's a variant of them on Kashyyyk. I mean, a Wookiee might try that.
But yeah, you've seen them going after all the battle droids and whatnot. And with C-3PO, with his red arm going about. Oh no. His head was on a droid.
So let's take a look. What was the last one? Mongwursts? What the frick is that? We're going to find out. I only remember 3 creatures from that, so the fact that it's listing 4 is very strange.
Is it connected to the movie?
Huh.
Yeah, I grew up watching all 3 of those. The whole battle when the clones came in and dropped in with all the Jedi.
A Mongwurst were a species of vicious and deadly insects found on the planet Gianosis. They were bred for combat by the native.
What they look like?
That's the thing, is what I got a picture of and what it gave me a description of was 2 totally different things that did not make any sense. So...
It's like the Jawas, you know? They got hair, but they got scales.
The thing is I'm not getting a picture of it.
I know, some Star Wars stuff they don't have pictures of. Well, if they don't have a picture of it, then it probably wasn't in the movie.
It may have been cut, but here's the thing. So it says that description, right?
Well, if it was cut, it would still be...
That's a mud horn, so that's not it.
Like, you could still look it up if it was cut. If they're saying if it was in the movie, and if it was cut, they would still be in the video.
Okay, so that's the mount That's the mount, okay, that the guys, remember the guys with the prongs? So then that's not a Mongwurst, that's something else. But that's the mount. So that was the picture I was getting underneath of the thing.
What, the gianosis?
Yeah, that's their mount that they ride. The ones that had the shock rods that were chasing the three creatures.
I thought they were walking by themselves. Yeah, we gotta rewatch these movies. We gotta rewatch these movies. Looking dumb.
Oh, not too much. Well, I knew I recognized that creature, but I'm like, that doesn't look like an insect. And it was totally...
Yeah, and you said there was another creature with that too? There was 5 in total?
There were 4 in total, the Mongwurst. So the Mongwurst was the insect-like things that they had flying around.
I thought they were gianosins.
Yeah, but there was some kind of... It was some kind of other thing, too, an insect of one kind or another. But I'm unsure on that one. So
they probably do have insects.
And it's not giving me a picture here, so let's go all, or let's go images. Yeah, there. Nope, that's not a Mongwurst. It's something else. It's got a different name. There, maybe. Nope, that wasn't on that was on gianosis.
You're bad at looking stuff
there.
Up. I wish I could use my phone right now.
Well, this picture right here showed up with the name.
Oh, no, that's from episode 3. Obi-Wan rides that thing.
Yeah, so maybe they just kind of put all 4 of the creatures in there just because that was another creature from gianosis, and they just kind of lumped it together.
Let's talk about a fucking grievis, though.
Grievis? That dude is a droid insect thing.
Yeah, he has no force abilities. He just kills Jedi.
Yeah, so...
Have you seen the animated Star Wars? Like the drawn-out one before the Clone Wars started?
The drawn-out one before the Clone Wars? No, yeah. I did see the Clone Wars, and I don't remember...
I think it's called Star Wars Adventures or something.
I don't remember if Grievous wasn't a Jedi, I don't think. I think he was like Force sensitive, maybe, or whatever. But no, he started off at one point killing Jedi and taking their lightsaber, and he did get wounded and stuff, I believe, when he was fighting them, and he'd have to get replaced with droid parts.
So he was a big warrior on his planet, but yeah, he fought some Jedi and basically killed him until I think Count Dooku or somebody made him into what he is now. He doesn't even look like that at all in like his natural form.
No, he was a human. He was a straight up human.
I was reading somewhere that he was a different type of alien.
Oh, he was? I thought when I watched the Clone Wars, he looked like he was a human. And he just had like clothes on or whatever, because there was a room or like a hallway that had like little rooms off the side or whatever with like statues of like General Grievous's progression to
in the
becoming
in the layer of Grievous.
Yeah, becoming what he is now. And he was like a human or something.
Or he kind of looked human, but like he did have a whole bunch of rags on him, which you couldn't really see a whole lot.
He was. But then he slowly got injured and stuff over the time of killing Jedi, and he had to get parts replaced on him, just like, Vader did. But he just eventually said that, screw it, I guess, and just got everything replaced except for the very basics that he needed
to keep his brain.
Yep, the very basics that he needed to keep his brain alive.
And I think his eyeballs, but I think they're kind of fractured in a way.
You might be right. I think his eyes actually were his real eyes, but they were attached to the...
Yeah. Because it was painful when the mask was getting taken off. Like, it did hurt.
Yeah, he has very little. If anybody knows about that, how much is actually left of General Grievous's actual
Like 3%.
organic?
Like 3%, I would say.
Organic self.
Because everything else is robotic.
Yeah, and I'm not looking it up. I'm gonna leave that one to the fans. They can check that one out and let us know. But General Grievous, he was a badass, but he got wounded a lot, and then eventually just decided to work that into an advantage.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if he would have been Force sensitive or able to use the Force at one point, he definitely lost almost all that ability as he lost more and more of his body, which was one reason why they had to chop Anakin up so bad, because if they hadn't chopped him up, then he would have been a lot stronger than he was as Vader.
Yeah, but even then, that still didn't stop fucking Vader with anything. That didn't stop him at all.
No, because Vader's rage was just unbelievable.
Yeah, he didn't care. He just like, fucking take my limbs. I don't care. I got the Force. And I'm just gonna walk to you, and I'm gonna catch up to you, and you're gonna be scared the whole time.
By freaking walking. Like, look, that is something like Darth Vader is straight up pimping.
Oh yeah.
He's not not that guy. Like, at first, in the books, when he became Vader with his whole new suit and all that, he did that acrobatic crap and the throwing of the lightsaber and all that stuff like that, jumping around and running and everything. He did that.
Yeah,
and then eventually,
in the prequels too, when he was fighting, he did all that acrobatic stuff.
yeah, and then afterward, he couldn't quite do it that same way after he got chopped up and he had his suit, but he would still, like, run, and he'd still jump, and he'd still do some of that stuff.
He did have a lot of time to meditate, which
But
gave him, like, that extra push with the Force.
then at one point, Vader stops doing that. And Vader just basically, he just becomes, I'm going to get you whether you run or not. So, when you're done running, you'll be there waiting for me to show up, because I'm coming.
Oh, just imagine his
life. He just straight up just walks. He does. There might be some times you see him walk briskly, and that's saying a lot. I'm putting a lot of emphasis there on. I'm stretching the truth there with the briskly.
Yeah.
He's pretty much just walking with a longer stride, but Vader just walks.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you will get inside his grasp.
You don't really see him run at all.
Nope.
Not even
not
in the
movies.
comics.
Not in the movies. Like I said, at one point, after he got his limbs chopped off, when he was younger Darth Vader in the suit, in the books, he did do some of that running and jumping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then I think that was mainly because he was still kind of trying to prove himself.
Yeah, he was
still
young and angry,
But once he learned that he's freaking Darth Vader and suit be damned, I'm the baddest fucker around. Like, once he learned that and figured that out, like, he pretty much quit. He quit running.
Yeah, but all that torment and torture that, like, went on inside his psyche to make him that pure evil that he is. He was raised by
Palpatine really screwed his head up.
From, like, Guado.
Yeah. Guado wasn't necessarily the best in the universe, but there probably could have been worse ones to be underneath of, like Jabba himself.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Well, then his mom died in his arms, and then his wife died from him.
Well, no.
That's what Palpatine told him.
His wife died from him, but not in the way that he thought. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy that his wife would die because what he did is he broke her heart, basically. She could have easily survived having those 2 kids without any issue and lived.
Oh no, with all that mental strain and stress.
That's the thing. Like, they had the technology, and they got this technology in Star Wars that they could easily have kept her alive. She easily could have survived, no problem. But what actually happened is because Anakin turned dark side and became Darth Vader and did all that horrible stuff, it broke her heart so bad that she no longer really had the will to live anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what it was, is that she didn't have the will to live anymore.
And she lost, basically, Anakin to Darth Vader. They weren't the same person anymore.
No, they were not. They were not. And that's why Vader tells Obi-Wan that I killed, and I killed Anakin. And Obi-Wan tells Luke that Vader killed Anakin. The whole reason that is because Vader is not the same as Anakin.
Yeah.
And the thing about, since we're on that one, the thing about that is everybody talks about Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force. Well, there's a lot of, a misconception with the Jedi that, if you think about it, because they're always like, bring balance to the Force,
they weren't making balance, they were just trying to make them...
The light side, that was it.
Yeah.
The light side wins, and that's the balance to the Force, but that's not actually that. I was reading one time a book, and I didn't get to finish it.
Do you know the name of the book?
No, I don't, but it was one from, the Old Republic part of the canon.
Okay.
So this was way back then, when the Jedi still were on, their original planet, or original star, the little original star system of where they discovered the Force, which
is that
the name of the planet starts. Huh?
Is that when they're still using swords?
They were still using swords like katanas and stuff, and they didn't have, and they would force them. They basically project the Force around the katana to strengthen it, so it could withstand doing some of the similar stuff of blocking blaster bolts and things.
Yeah,
and it had different kind of metallurgy.
They have the dark saber, the black lightsaber. It's canon now in Star Wars.
Yeah, that actually existed somewhere in the stories, in the books.
Yeah.
So back then, when they were still that way, they actually had temples for the light side and temples for the dark side. And they would actually go and do training in both.
So they're just coexisting?
It was the Jedi, the whole group of Jedi was just one. There wasn't Sith and Jedi, there was just Jedi, and they would learn the ways of the light and learn the ways of the dark, and balance that within themselves to become one with the Force in total. Because the dark side of the Force is part of the Force.
Yeah.
And the only way to truly actually become fully one with the Force, you got your Force ghosts and things like that, but, you're still losing half the Force if you're only a light side, and you become a good Force ghost on the light side and not the dark side one. Because they have dark side Force ghosts. They show up in the stories and in the comics, later on.
Yeah.
And I think maybe way in the past and later on, but in the main section, you don't really run into it much, because it's ruled by Jedi and then ruled by Sith.
Seeing the light side of the Force throughout all the movies.
Yeah, and then the dark side pops in there, and you definitely get the feel for how evil the dark side.
Oh yeah, they be fucking
Palpatine and Vader definitely let you know
they were the duo
with very little use of the Force. In actuality, in those 3 movies, they did not use the Force that much.
No, it's just their presence.
But the little bits that they did use it totally demonstrated just how wicked and evil the dark side can be. And Anakin was supposed to actually bring the balance to. And he eventually kind of does.
Yeah, killing all them kids.
He eventually kind of does, not necessarily through him himself or Luke, but later on with Cade Skywalker.
That's from books?
That's from the comics.
Okay.
Might be in books too, but it's in comics. And
is it like heavily known in comics?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I would need to do more research on it, but I had a chance to read some of those comics, and Luke is, I believe, is like Luke's grandson or great grandson, Cade Skywalker, and the Sith stopped with the rule of two. And did the old Sith way of having a shitload of Sith, and the Sith attacked the Jedi. And this is also around the same time they had Darth Talon as well.
Okay.
But the Sith attacked the Jedi, and once again the Jedi were just scattered throughout the universe, or scattered throughout the galaxy again, on the run.
Darth Talon is bad. Just off topic, but like, She bad with it though.
Yeah, she's
scary. I wouldn't try to do nothing because she's scary.
yeah, she's scary.
Yeah, if she wasn't Sith, maybe. Maybe I'll shoot my shot.
Yeah, you give it a try.
Yeah,
she's a Twi'lek, and 99% of them are pretty hot. There's the rare few that they throw in there just for,
sorry I said something like
the agenda, They throw a few that aren't in there for the agenda, but other than that, they're 99% of them are hot.
Yeah.
The tattoos definitely make her kind of hotter.
Yeah.
But, so but Cade starts kind of learning how to use some of the dark side stuff to, because he brought somebody back to life.
Oh.
Like what Palpatine told Anakin that he could do.
Yeah.
Palpatine didn't know how to do it. He didn't know how to do it. You could find the lore for it, and if he was empowered, make it a lot easier for him to do that.
It existed. He just didn't know how to do it.
But it actually can be done. But you got to tap into the dark side to do it because it's actually a selfish act. It's a very selfish thing.
Of course it is.
To bring somebody back from the dead. But Cade actually did it with his master. He brought him back from the dead after the Sith attacked the temple.
And Cade is a Jedi?
Cade is, at this time, he's an ex-Jedi. He's kind of sort of like...
But he was a Jedi and then he turned?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he just kind of went like...
like gray Jedi? Or something?
No, he just kind of went Han Solo.
Oh, okay, so he's just a loose Jedi? Or a loose...
Yeah, he's just running around, he's just a straight-up scoundrel, man. And he's smoking death sticks and doing whatever, he wants and all that. And Luke pops up once in a while as a Force ghost trying to get it together. And then something happens and Cade ends up letting a Jedi get captured by the Sith. And Luke shows up as a Force ghost. And Cade has a very, very bad time. Cade has a very bad time. And not really. It's more like Cade was getting a kind of like a afterlife...
like premonition?
Ass ripping. Oh. He's, like Luke was giving him an afterlife ass ripping. It wasn't really a fight or anything like that, if I can remember right, but Cade was physically affected on this side by what was going on. And Cade actually was like, okay, so, he screwed up. he let one of the Jedi that he knows is a very good person, he sunk that low, you know, and he let this Jedi get captured and stuff. So then Cade starts doing good things again.
Oh yeah, that was messing with his psyche, huh?
Yeah, and Cade starts doing good things again, and he starts coming around, he starts becoming a Jedi again and everything. As a matter of fact, I think he ends up actually going full dark side and actually dates Darth Talon for a while. And then he comes back to the light side. And then he comes back to the light side. I didn't get through all the comics.
He only went to the dark side just a tad. And he's like, okay,
and I cannot. It's like Shatter. It's like...
What, the comic book?
Yeah, Shatter Point or Shatter something like that. But it was a really good comic book series, and I wish I'd have got to finish it.
If you guys know what he's talking about, it's Shatter something. It's a comic book. Let us know.
Basically Cade Skywalker's story. So, I mean, I'll probably look it up later. But my phone's pretty well almost dead, so I can't really look anything up. So if you guys want to help out, that'd be appreciated.
I got a charger.
It's fine. Alright, man. What do you got next on the chopping block?
No, I'm kind of thinking about, what is R2 thinking on the Mustafar fight? Because he was there during episode 1 when Luke was a little kid.
You mean episode 1 when Anakin was a little kid?
Yeah, what did I say?
Episode 1 when Luke was a little kid?
Oh, sorry, you're talking about Luke. Yeah, when Anakin was a little kid on Naboo, he was there with Anakin, or with R2, and he was there on episode 3 with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and he was there on fucking every movie that's been out. He's been in that movie.
Yeah,
and he's been a main character in that movie. Yeah,
he's actually a very important character. R2 is one of the most important characters in all of the stories. Okay, so...
Well, fun fact, actually. You know how Anakin got R2? It was a marriage proposal. Because they weren't supposed to be married, Padme and Anakin. So Anakin gave C-3PO to Padme for an offering for, like, a wedding ring. And Padme gave him R2. Because it was very common for Jedi to get astromech droids to help them fly from planet to planet and whatnot.
Really? I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Because, yeah, C-3PO technically was Anakin's droid, and R2 very technically was Padme's droid, because R2 was on Naboo, owned by the Queen.
Yeah.
He was on her ship. So...
And I think he got medaled by that too, by being a good astromech droid.
Yeah, he was silver, wasn't he? Back in those ones, he was silver, and then they turned him gold?
No.
Like
that was
they always
C-3PO.
just make him gold. Yeah, C-3PO, that's what I'm saying with him.
I think he was silver at one point, but he was gold all throughout.
Yeah, I think they had him as a skeleton, and then they put silver on him at first, and then they made him gold.
Yeah, he had better plating. I think that's what he said. He had better plating. Instead of just that regular metal, he had a nice form to him. But he did have a red arm at one point.
He did?
Yeah. That was just to sell toys. That's what everybody says. I kind of stand on that, because it serves no purpose.
Yeah, so R2-D2, they decided not to wipe his memory. So by the time we get around to the end of it all, they decided not to wipe his memory at all. So this unlike C-3PO, they wiped him. The protocol droid, they cleared his memory. But they didn't clear the astromech because they thought, he's an astromech, he don't know shit. But in actuality, this droid has been videoing everybody for the entire time.
Yeah, he was with Anakin like the whole war of the Clone Wars.
He's got so much dirt on everybody like this droid.
What do you think he was thinking about when they're fighting?
Man, I don't know. Because I don't know. Because, I mean, okay, so an artificial intelligence, even though those are really good artificial intelligences, they still, have their parameters because they're droids.
Yeah.
Right? So then, it's clear that C-3PO and R2-D2 are not normal droids. And I think that has something to do with Anakin, because I'm pretty sure that when Anakin was making C-3PO, something, in my opinion,
he tweaked him to be more lifelike?
That, and he just has a way with machines, and being able to build stuff.
Yeah, he's a good engineer.
And Anakin really has a lot of force going on, and so when you build a lightsaber, you kind of imbue it with the force.
Yeah,
I think,
with that insight.
I think maybe Anakin may have imbued some force into them and not even known it. So I'm pretty sure that Anakin probably did some upgrades on R2.
You think you can embed force into robots?
Well, if you can imbue a lightsaber with force, because that's what the Jedi does when they make it. And there's actually a lightsaber that was imbued with so much dark force energy.
Well, technically, the crystals are kind of alive.
Yeah.
They will seek you out instead of you seeking it out.
Yeah, so you go on your journey to get your crystal, and the crystal that you're supposed to get will present itself to you.
Yeah.
Basically. The crystal doesn't actually move on its own, but it will.
Yeah.
It will lead you to it, is what it is. But back to R2. So I think that he's probably did some upgrades on R2.
Oh, he must have, because
they didn't show it.
He's an engineer. He likes to toy with a lot of electronics.
And I'm sure R2 does not mind getting some upgrades. I mean, look at the little badass.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're giving this me? Okay.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking that at that point, he don't really know what the fuck to do. Because I feel like, and I don't just feel like it, but I kind of think it, that C-3PO and R2-D2 have another level to their artificial intelligence, that while they're still programming that makes them have to listen, if really told to, at the same time, they also can circumvent that. Because, R2 took off without the restraining bolt from Luke.
They can argue and go against what they're saying.
Unlike other droids.
Yeah.
And they're not malfunctioning like other droids would be malfunctioning that you need over.
To be.
Yeah, these two droids are not like the other ones. They got their own kind of thing going on, their own kind of intelligence, their own way of doing stuff. So, in all actual honesty, I think that R2 is probably hoping Obi-Wan defeats Anakin and saves Anakin from his crap that he's doing, because I feel that they actually care about the humans that they're with, especially R2.
Yeah.
C-3PO is a little bit,
Yeah, he's squeamish, but he's still loyal.
But R2-D2, I think he truly does actually care about Padme, about Luke, about Obi-Wan, about Anakin, and I think he might even actually care about Vader, because he knows who Vader is. He knows that Vader is Anakin. He knows all this stuff. He don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
And he don't tell anybody because he could have told Luke that Darth Vader is your father.
Yeah,
because he knows it. He was there for all of it. But I think he knows I would have really screwed with Luke. Especially hearing it from some frickin' astromech.
Yeah. Because he doesn't even know.
Because he doesn't know that.
They're just robots to him.
Yeah, well,
when he first finds them on Tatooine.
Yeah, but RT, how would he doesn't even know that R2 was around at that time. Because I'm sure they're probably still making R2-D2 unit or R2 units.
Maybe not anymore.
And maybe not, because they had
Darth
R4s and stuff.
Yeah.
But, so I'm thinking that he is, in all actuality, he is probably hoping for the actual best possibility to happen, and that's Obi-Wan defeats Anakin without having to have Anakin die. And
Obi-Wan wanted to do the same thing. He did
not want it, and that's the reason why he didn't kill him and walked off, because he couldn't bring himself to actually kill Anakin.
Yeah, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Everything just got fucked.
That's like something I was watching today on the World Wars. There was a British soldier that had Hitler dead to rights in his rifle. They're standing there in no man's land and had him dead to rights, could pull the trigger and kill him. But he didn't know that Adolf Hitler was going to become Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
You know, this is World War I. And he didn't take the shot. He let him go because he was unarmed. He was just a messenger. And he decided not to shoot him. Well, that's the same kind of thing here with this.
Yeah, this is kind of basically what it...
Like, man, dude, you had the chance.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it.
You kind of fumbled that.
Yeah, dude, you let him live. I mean, he probably thought he would just burn up and die, which is kind of mean at the same time. And so Obi-Wan was kind of being selfish by doing that because he didn't want to be the one to actually put the finishing blow.
Oh, no, I think he also kind of felt guilty because when he was burning up, you know, that's basically his brother since however long. They grew up together, they did a whole bunch of fights, and now you just see him burning up, crying out.
In all actual honesty, I think that R2 was probably very sad and anxious and worried and everything. But, I mean, somebody had to record that fight, right? I mean, we got to see it.
Oh, I would.
So I'm saying the cameraman was R2, man. He was on that.
You know how much money you can get from that video?
He is your underground bootlegger right there, man.
Put on some, like, galactic internet.
I mean, dude, he's around for everything. I'm just wondering, did Padme and Anakin ever do something when R2 was there? You know?
They probably did. They probably recorded that too. You know, I'm gonna put that in my personal files.
Yeah, like R2 is the underground of getting to video everything.
Yeah, he was there for everything.
Everything.
And he was in the room even when they were sleeping.
And as far as I know, I mean, okay, so I got one for you. I've read a whole bunch and everything, but I have not actually got to find out about R2's demise. So if any of you guys know...
Oh, he gets destroyed?
What happened to R2? Well, here's the thing is, I don't know where he goes. At some point, because there's gaps in my knowledge in the books and things.
Yeah.
At some point, we switch over to characters further down the line, right? And we don't have the Millennium Falcon in the story anymore, and we don't have a bunch of the main characters from the beginning because they're all long gone by this point.
Oh.
But R2's a droid, and so a machine, well maintenanced and taken care of, can last forever.
Yeah, and he was like the high top of the rebellion.
So, I mean, R2, whatever happened to him? Does anybody know? Did he eventually get destroyed, blown up, or anything? Or is he just kicking it at some, droid retirement home? Like, if anybody knows.
Isn't he with Luke? Or did Luke...
Luke kept him after Endor and everything. Luke had him for a very long time. But eventually, he disappears somewhere.
Like, I know in the new movies, they do have R2 just being alone, and he's shut off and whatnot. But...
Yeah, and they come up with that little bald guy.
Bald guy?
The little ball droid.
Oh, BB-8?
Yeah, they gotta replace him with something. I mean, at least the droid in the video games with Cal, BD1, at least I like that one. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you played that game?
Yeah, it's,
Fallen Order?
Fallen Order.
Yeah. That was a nice game. That was a real nice game.
I liked it.
You like the storyline on that?
It was alright.
It was alright.
I mean, I'm not a Jedi guy. Like, I'm all about Jedi and all that because it's Star Wars stuff. But me personally, I'm a scoundrel.
Oh yeah,
so since I'm a scoundrel, I'm all about the blaster and the ship and the, you know, flying by the seat of my pants kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff that I really like. That's why I like the X-Wing series.
It makes
so
it more realistic for you too, because you know you could be doing that in the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the Force, but a blaster works. I mean, right now we don't have blasters, but the equivalent of a blaster is a pistol. I mean, that works. So, you know, a pistol on your hip and a spaceship. Well, we don't got a spaceship, but a motorcycle or a car.
Not yet.
You know, an actual ship. I mean, that all works. So that's the function of it with a scoundrel. You know, those things are all right there. So the scoundrels usually speak more to me than the Jedi guys, but the good and evil that they have to fight. That's something that's not necessarily unique to Star Wars, but it's kind of what it's about. It's the good versus the evil. Not just with the dark side and the light side, so like the light side of the Force is God and the dark side of the Force is the devil kind of thing, whatever. However you want to look at it. Not even with that. But the good and the bad inside yourself.
Yeah, it's always that in a lot of the books and the movies.
And the war that you have to fight inside yourself to be a good person every day or be a bad person every day. To make good decisions and help people or to make bad decisions and hurt people. Like, it's a constant thing that you have to fight every day. Whereas, like Star Trek, it's a trek, it's a journey. You have those things come up throughout a journey in life.
Yeah.
But I personally am more drawn to that because of the inner conflict that every human has. I see it all the time. So, but you know, Star Wars is my shit, man.
Yeah, they have a lot of great stories, and this about wraps up episode 2 of this.
Episode 2 of.
You gotta say it.
The Skyriver Cantina? Like, you're passing it off to me?
Yeah. So I'm not
I did the opening, you were doing the closing. You didn't let me know I had to do the closing.
Oh, we could do it together.
Oh, man.
It's
all right,
a duet thing.
Oh,
what do you mean?
We got a duet now.
I gotta do everything?
Here pretty quick, we're gonna have to have some other people, and then we'll have a band going on.
Oh, we're gonna have a whole band?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna get my bass back this
Cantina
month.
music?
do 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 do.
They're just gonna be sitting in the background.
Alright, man. So this is Skyriver Cantina. And this is Zane Royals and Dan the Man. We're signing off for this one.
Yep.
Y'all have a good one.
We'll see you next. They have on.